Hi there, this is Ruben and this is Ship Stories number 37. Today, from the car, and when I'm in the car, I'm always happy because it means I'm on the move, I'm traveling, and traveling is something we all miss. So, last week I spoke about the Dutchman's log, so how to measure speed. And to remain in the historic part of our business, today I'm going to address the elephant in the room, and that's fire protection, which is my specialty. Fire protection on ships. So how was that done in the 16th century? Well, fire, as you can imagine, and wooden ships was a horrible match. And it was the worst nightmare of any sailor. Unfortunately, it still is today. But the way of protection is much higher and we don't have wooden ships anymore. But as today, as it was then, it was mostly about prevention. Today, the passive fire protection where I'm in is, of course, resulted to much safer environments. But in the 16th century, to give you an idea, the port of New York, the data from 1614 up to 1900, they say they had 602 distress calls from ships, and 61 of them were fired just by carelessness. So probably someone lit a candle or made a fire or from the galley or just by, bad management, and the ship burnt. But these were the reported ones. They assumed that there was a much, much higher number of ships that perished by fire, because it would just burn completely and people would just jump off and there would be never a distress call. And in that time, the only way to avoid fire on board was by prevention. So General Drake's orders were extremely strict. While walking on a sailing vessel at night, never with an open fire. A candle was always inside a chandelier or a lamp, as they called it, and they had very tight rules on how to deal with fire. They had to sign off when they were lighting the lights at night to show the position of the ship. They had a fire watch. There was extreme strict rules, and that was the only way at the time to prevent a fire from happening, because lightning was open fire, cooking was open fire. So you can imagine. And unfortunately, this week we saw that a fire on board the MSC Lyrica in Corfu, Greece resulted in quite some damage. Fortunately, no one got hurt, but fire is still a huge thing. And so if you want to learn the basics about fire protection regarding cables and pipes, meaning cable transits and pipe seals, join me on March 30th on a webinar about cable transits and pipe seals in ships. And with that said, thank you and bye-bye. Driving off.